So today we're at the McLeod Children's Hospital in Florence, South Carolina to do a bit of a tour. We were here a few years ago to take a look at exactly where all of your Extra Life donations went, and we're back today for a bit of an updated tour. I talked to the coordinator, Deb, who has arranged for us to have a tour with Leslie, who's going to give us a tour of the updated NICU, which is completely new since we last did the tour, and all of your donations have made a very big difference there. And then also, we're going to be getting a separate tour with Rebecca to look at some of the other children facilities and what they're doing with all of your donations there. So I think this is a really important video to make because I want everyone to know exactly the place that your donations are going and the difference that it's making, and get a chance to see, kind of behind the curtain exactly like where everything's going. So I'm excited to do this tour today. Let's go take a look.
So last June we moved into this 48-bed NICU, 24 unit beds, single patient rooms, and then 24 intermediate patient rooms. The possibility of that ever happening was slim to none without donations and things to help us build a facility like this. The things that we've seen happen from moving from a large open area to a small individualized room for each patient, I feel like we've seen babies get better. There is a population that's called pulmonary hypertension. I've seen it work really well for those babies. Those babies need ultimate quiet. They need low stim. They need dark. They require a lot of different things. And I've seen those babies get better quicker, whereas I feel like when we were in an open area, maybe it just wasn't the best as far as the time that it took those babies to get well. Babies are in areas where their moms can be involved constantly, so they're able to be cared for by their moms. In the intermediate area, the moms are able to stay the night. They're able to take care of their babies 24/7 if they choose to. They're able to learn their baby's schedule, learn who their baby is. And before, we didn't have the opportunity to do that. So I think the moms and dads are a lot more satisfied with the care we're able to give their baby here in these single patient rooms. I think that the babies are probably doing better. That's probably just a thought I'm having, but just as being here for 26 years at McLeod, I feel like I've seen a great change over the last year. I was a bit skeptical coming from the only place I knew, which was an open area, to a single patient, but it only took about 6 months to get total buy-in from me and the majority of staff here. It's been extremely beneficial. It has been a patient and parent satisfier. It has been a blessing to us here at McLeod. So we thank you so much for everything you all do. This is what's called a phototherapy light. And this is for babies who have elevated bilirubin levels, such as what they call yellow jaundice. So you may hear that on even term babies, but a lot of our premature babies need the help of a Billy blanket or a Billy light. And so Children's Miracle Network, the money that's raised for the foundation or for us specifically, goes towards purchasing these type of supplies for the NICU. This bed is called a giraffe bed, and it's called a giraffe bed, I think basically because it acts like a mother to the baby. It does a lot of what the mom can't do because the baby's on the outside now. It has heat. It keeps the baby warm. It has the ability to have humidity, which we can keep the baby's skin moist so it won't dry out. It's dark because we usually have a cover that will go over it and cover it up. And it's noise controlled. So if you think about it, that's the same thing that happens when a baby's inside a mom. It's warm, it's dark, it's moist from her amniotic fluid. It mimics what's inside a mom, so babies grow best that way. So it is the closest that we can get to facilitating what would be an outside womb for a baby. Because regular stethoscopes are big, but look at ours.
Oh, wow.
So they're tiny. They're made to listen to the baby's heart. With a big one, it's really hard to get just what you need. But with this little tiny stethoscope, it's specialized, so it listens to a little tiny baby the way it needs to. So we do end up using a lot of these. Just about everything in this room is a product of the foundation or the Children's Miracle Network.
There's how many of these rooms?
There are 24 unit rooms. So what you will see over here are 24 rooms that are built just the same way. It has a recliner for mom, a chair for dad, or vice versa. And it's also got everything that the baby may need, depending upon what their need is when they come out, to take care of the baby. And you guys help provide that with your money. You help provide these things so that these babies can be taken care of right here.
I think it's really important too that 100% of what you raise
Go straight here.
goes straight here.
Yeah.
It doesn't pay for Leslie or
No.
me.
It's
100% to the children.
Yep, 100% to everything that we decide that we need. We take a good look at what we have, what we need. Sometimes it's the latest and greatest on the rise of taking care of these babies. We consider it crucial. These things that you all provide for are crucial. 100% goes straight to these things. McLeod takes care of me, but you all take care of the babies. So this makes the bed dark so that the baby's able to facilitate being inside of mom. We can make it just as dark as we can to help the baby grow. What we know is that babies grow best when it appears to be that they're still inside of their mom. So we're giving them everything they need. Encouraging mom to get the baby on her chest, do the skin to skin, still do those things that she would be able to do if the baby were full term. And sometimes we do have full term babies who we have to try to recreate that moment with anyway. So we try to do our best to make sure that we're able to give moms just as much as they would have gotten had their baby go to full term. We just have to modify it depending upon the situation. We've got a basket that usually sits out here. Lauren's probably got it refilling it, but what she does is she keeps up with making sure moms have snacks. Our breastfeeding moms, making sure they have snacks because it's really important for them to eat. They're allowed to stay over in this area, so the room is larger. There's a couch that folds out into a flatbed. And then there are also some rooms that have like a Jack and Jill bathroom, but there's a shower that is across the hall here, so they're able to shower. Sometimes some of the babies in here maybe have a little bit more things going on with them.
Okay.
But they're working their way toward getting ready to go home. So they're working on bottle feeds. They're working on coming off their oxygen if they're not. They're more stable.
Okay.
So they're able to, moms and dads are able to participate more in care.
So that's why there's more space
That's
for
why
mom
there's
and
more
dad.
space. There's space for them to stay. They can be as involved as they would love to be. And we try to get them as involved as they can so they're able to know what it's like to feed baby when it's time to go home. Or that she gets up at 3 a.m. and parties really hard, because sometimes they don't know that.
Yeah.
They'll call us back and say, she's up and it's 3 o'clock. Yeah, she did that every night. She did that every night, and we walked her around. We did the things. We took care of her. So this area is the same as the other, so it goes in a circular pattern. And all the rooms have these slide-in doors just in case the baby or the family needs a little bit of privacy. We can slide the door, pull the curtain if mom is breastfeeding or needs a little bit of privacy. We can do that. She's trying to sleep. We're trying to help them get used to what it's going to be like at home. So that bassinet is ergonomically appealing to a nurse because you can lower it or make it higher. So I don't have to, in the older bassinets, you had to bend over and push them. Now they've made it so it's appealing to the nurse because she doesn't have to bend. If you see it, it's about my level here, so it's really nice. It's a lot easier on our bags, thank goodness. But those are all new too. Some of the proceeds that we get from the Children's Miracle Network go to purchase those type of bassinets, and they've really been helpful. Last year we got a good many of those, and we would hope to replace all of our others with those. The drawers underneath are really neat for storing things. So these are babies that are closer to getting ready to go home, so they're learning to live outside of the bed, adjust their temperature, and they need a little bit less. So it's really a good thing to see a baby like that. That means he or she's getting ready to go home. We have 4 sets of twin rooms. So what that means is that our twin babies are able to be in the same area, and we have a door that we pull back with a piece of frosted glass so mom can have both of her babies together. So it's really been a good thing for our mamas and for our babies. This room is set up so that we take care of twins. We've got a room for each baby, but then mom is able to be with both of her babies at the same time because there's her other baby over here. So she's able to see both of her babies. They're both being monitored. They're both right there. Sometimes we kind of get them to meet in the middle a little bit if we can stretch it, and she can hold both of her babies and do skin to skin. These rooms have been amazing. They have really been a great satisfier for our parents, I believe. I can't imagine having to walk from one room to the next, and sometimes that does happen, but here she can have this whole area, and she can pretty much come in here and stay and take care of her babies. So we have a transport team that we are able to, when a baby comes from, when a physician calls and says there's a baby that's really sick and we need to get that baby here, or there's a mama that we cannot transfer and we need you to come get her baby. So not all the time are those preterm babies, but sometimes it's term babies. Sometimes it's babies that are born fully term but just don't have the means to be able to breathe well without any help. So we're there to help them. Our hospital being level 3, we have a transport team. We will send our team out as soon as that physician calls. And our team consists of a transport nurse, a respiratory therapist, and then an EMT or paramedic. And so those folks ride on a specialized ambulance, which is called Child Reach. We'll go and we will go into the hospital where the baby is and assume care of the baby. So we get them stabilized and get them back to us as quickly as we can. We love to say we need to get home. We just need to get home, which is here. We have everything we need here. But our physicians help us, and under their direction, we take care of those babies until we can get them here. And so that's an important part of our team here at McLeod. We have specialized nurses who do that piece, as well as our respiratory therapists are all trained to be able to take care of whatever comes up out in the field. So these are our tiniest diapers. Y'all can take some of those with you.
Oh my gosh.
Those are up to 2 pounds, I think. Those fit our babies up to 2 pounds.
So tiny.
They're so tiny, aren't they? There's one even smaller than this, but I didn't grab it because I felt like it was really tiny. But just like this wraps around, the blood pressure cuff wraps around your arm when you go in to have your vital signs taken, this wraps around our baby's arm. So if you can see how tiny that is. Their arm slides right through there, and this connects to the monitor and takes their blood pressure. We thought, we were like, we might not ever see it full, but I tell you, the past couple of weeks we've had a lot of family that have changed the seating around or to cut the TV on and came out here and just kind of looked out the window for a minute just because it's been relaxing or whatever. And I can't blame them much. You just need some time away sometimes.
This is something we put in place within the last week. This is toy library, and this just allows parents to come in and pick out something for their kids, actually multiple things. Everything in here is reusable, and it's divided based on the developmental age of the child, so that they can come in and pick out different things that they feel like their child would enjoy playing with in the room. We do have several different types of equipment and things that we can give away and let them take home, but all these items are reusable, and a lot of them actually really help with our therapy. So kids tend to approach physical therapy and occupational therapy from a play perspective. So anything we can do to get them up, moving, and excited and out of that bed really helps with their recovery. So you can see we've got different items in here that focus based on where their developmental age is. And then we also have these exciting things that allow them to just have a little bit of excitement as far as like from a video game perspective. Something as simple as inspiring them to sit up in the bed oftentimes helps. This is our latest project, and it does not look like much right now, but I'll break it down. So this is our Child Life Activity Center, and it's empty right now because it's undergoing a full renovation and makeover. So what we're going to do is we actually receive funds to give it a whole new facelift, which we're so excited about. You can kind of see our storyboard, which is what our inspiration is going towards. What this is going to look like, it's going to have a centralized focal point of an oak tree, and then it's going to be divided into sections. So we're going to have a teen section, a home living section, a toddler section, a childhood section, that type of thing. So it's divided up, and it can serve multiple different developmental stages of childhood. These boxes are actually, we're so excited about this. These just came in from Canada, and these are child-size hospital equipment. So there's a child-size MRI machine, CT machine, so that we can do role play and interactive modeling before they go down for the procedure. It really kind of helps ease their fears and gives them an idea of what's coming. A lot of our admissions are related to some type of infectious illness. So sometimes we're not able to get outside of the rooms due to the spreading of those particular kind of bugs, but the more we can take into the room, the better. This actually goes from infants, it can be a couple hours after birth, anyone who's actually left the facility from a birth experience, all the way up to 18 years old. We like their rooms to be their safe space. So if they're going to have any kind of invasive procedures, particularly if it's a painful procedure like an IV stick or something, we try to take them to the treatment room. And that just allows them to come back to their safe space in their room. Because we don't want children to be fearful while they're on Children's Hospital of what's going to come through the door. You already have a lot of strangers circulating around and scrubs, and it can be kind of intimidating. But if they know the room is kind of their safe space, it helps it go a little bit more smoothly. So we try to do any kind of invasive procedures in the treatment room. This is our Myrtle the turtle, and she kind of assists us with our procedures. She can go up, down, move all around, and really helps us position our patients depending on the type of procedure. Most often we use her for venipunctures or any kind of blab draw or IV stick. So it allows us to bring patients into a separate room, and we try to kind of make it fun and colorful and entertaining with things hanging from the ceiling and whatnot, so that we're able to use distraction techniques. We were also able to get, through grant funding and donations, something called, it's very similar to a VR headset, and it provides distraction and video technology from the venipuncture, and it's actually proven in research articles to help alleviate pain.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's called a Smiley Scope. So that's something that's kind of cool that we've been able to get through donations, and anything that we can use to help make a painful procedure less painful for a child. We have a designated nap time on the floor, and what that does is it really gives patients and families kind of a guarded, protected window where they can have rest time. Whenever you're in a hospital, you're in an unknown environment that can be kind of uncomfortable, and you never know what's going to come and what's going to go, when people are going to pop in, pop out, when you're going to have procedures, lab draws, that type of thing. So the nap time is a protected window where patients and families know they've got that quality time just to rest and relax and kind of breathe. We really try to limit any type of medical procedures or interventions during that time to things that are absolutely necessary and essential and can't be avoided. So that's something that we've kind of added to our schedule of care to help our patients and families.